Okay, a couple of other things you'll want to do when you're reading textbooks. Think about the 4 R's. Of course you want to read them, but you really want to focus on those main ideas. So quickly get a sense of where they are. Remember that they might be in the headings as well as the topic sentences, which may or may not be in every paragraph, but they usually can be found at the top paragraph in a section. So make connections to your course content. Read your course objectives, your learning objectives. Go back and check these main ideas and see how they all fit together. Read more carefully, of course, after class, so don't spend all of your time reading every single word in advance of class. Read, get the main gist of everything, but after class, really dig in. So read again no later than a day or two after you attend classes. Use your notes to guide your focus. Remember what your professor said. Again, don't leave that too long, because the longer you leave it, the more likely you are to forget what happened in class. And track your progress using your map. Make sure you have all the material or all of the important material covered. Check for those main ideas. Try to elaborate upon those ideas. Find examples, find illustrations, and try to make some inferences, or try to think about what else could be true based on what's in the text. So what's in the text is usually fairly concrete. What can you then use or infer from what you were reading, or what's in between the lines of the text? The second one is recite. Speak out loud. The more you can speak out loud, the more you can track what you're saying and take note of when you've gone off track or when you have lost your focus. So stop frequently when you're reading, and also try to close that textbook and then speak to explain what you just read. And if you really want to make it more challenging, recite or say something out loud to try to teach it to somebody else. That really can be a big indicator for you whether you know something or not. Then you want to review, which is of course something you probably know, but it's how you review that's important. So use those test questions at the end of the chapters, use your notes, use the questions that you created earlier in the question section, and just simply start testing yourself. Leave some time in between, go back and test yourself again, get somebody else to quiz you, and jot down the things that are difficult for you to understand or difficult for you to complete. This means that the bulk of your time will be spent on this information. You will need to read this information again more carefully in your textbook, maybe use more practice questions to make sure that you can really use or understand what you're expected to do or use, and maybe ask someone for help. So make a note of the things that are difficult, ask your professor, ask the learning strategist, ask a supplemental instructor, ask the writing center, ask whoever you need to ask to make sure that you can get the answers you need. Finally, when you do understand something but you're just having a difficult time relating, try to think about what you know and how this new information is different from what you knew, or the same. Consider how you would use this information during an exam, maybe in an assignment, or maybe if you were on the job and you had to actually use the information. What would you be looking like? What would you sound like? Would it be fluent coming from your lips? Would you be confident speaking it? Think about those things. If you had to explain this new information to somebody in a new situation, could you do it? If you had no textbook, do you think you would have adequately learned this information? If not, go back up to the other steps in this SQ4R reading strategy until you've used all of the different strategies that you can, you feel like you've mastered the material, and you've become fluent in the content that makes up your course, which is sometimes a specific discipline. And really what you're doing when you're reading is getting ready to complete those assignments and take your assessments.